Happy Wednesday. If you don't know me, my name's Ashley. I'm the Yogi Next Door, and this is our World of Yoga Wednesday. Yay! Where I come on Instagram Live once per week and talk a little bit about something pertaining to the world of yoga. So our first week we learned about essential oils in yoga. Last week I talked about the 8 limbs of yoga, like all of the different facets of yoga. And today I will be talking about something very, very important and wider than just yoga, for sure. Sorry, I'm wiggling around. And sorry I was a couple minutes late. The internet has been a little bit of a mess, and the weather is really crazy and horrible here in Iowa, so that might have something to do with it. Today we will be talking about gratitude, the science of gratitude, how it affects our brains, how it can be incorporated into our yoga practice, and more importantly, how it can be incorporated into our everyday lives. So I'll be sharing a little bit of information like what is gratitude? Obviously, you know what gratitude is in like a broad sense, but what does it look like in terms of how it affects our brains? How does it affect our emotions, our everyday lives? And then how can we incorporate that into our yoga practice, and how can we incorporate that into our everyday life? So just a little bit first about why I chose this. This is, for many cultures around the world, a season of many holidays, many different types of celebrations. But most specifically here in the US, I think overarching popularity is Christmas. The celebration of Christmas, which is, absolutely wonderful time to spend with family and friends, although this year is, of course, a little bit different. This time of gift giving and receiving. And I think although we can appreciate so many things about this season, one potential negative thing about this season is that we're constantly looking for what we don't have. We're looking outside of ourselves, I want this new thing. I want this new car. I want this new purse, this new house, this new whatever it is, and cell phone or whatever, whatever that may be for you. And I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing, but living in the society that we do, this capitalistic society, we're constantly searching for outside things that'll help bring us happiness. When even we might even logically know, well, I know that's not going to make me happier, even if I feel happy in the moment. So gratitude and practicing gratitude is, hi, footsie. Practicing that gratitude is the most important tool we have in finding more happiness in our lives. So to get started, let's talk a little bit about what is gratitude. What does gratitude look like? Hello. And how can this practice affect our everyday life, our emotions, our thoughts? So I'm sure you all know and understand gratitude is just simply this feeling of thankfulness, like deeper than thankfulness, true appreciation, thankfulness, a little bit warmer and a little bit of a deeper emotion than just feeling thankful. But it's in that same vein of feeling thankful. So why is gratitude good? Like, what does it do for us? What does it bring for us? I did a lot of research besides my own just personal experience with gratitude, but a lot of research, and all of these claims are backed up by studies, by science, by experiments. So I encourage you to do your own research and see. It's really interesting to get even more technical into like specifically what is happening in the brain, which we'll touch on briefly. But why is gratitude good? What does it do for us? What's the point of gratitude? Besides just to be nice to others, which is of course a good benefit, but it mostly benefits ourselves. So why is gratitude good? It allows us to celebrate this present moment. It allows us to truly look at and take stock in what we're seeing, our current situation, our current life, and truly appreciating and feeling grateful for what we have. So it's kind of obvious to say gratitude helps us feel grateful. Seems like common sense, obviously. That's literally the point. But it doesn't just make us feel grateful on the outside. It doesn't just show others that we're grateful. It truly makes us feel warmer and more thankful, like on a deeper level when we practice it consistently. It allows us to participate in these more positive parts and positive things in life. So when we're practicing gratitude, saying right now, I'm thankful, I'm feeling so grateful for these warm clothes I have on because it's so cold, and I don't know if you guys can hear the wind is like blowing like wild, it's raining, it's icy, whatever. Truly feeling grateful that I'm in this warm home. I have heat. I have like a warm cup of coffee that I just finished. I have my warm clothes. All of those things help us participate more in the positive things that are happening in our life in that moment. Another benefit of gratitude is that it not only shows the positive things, brings the positive things to light, but it actually blocks negative thoughts and negative ideas and emotions coming to us. So gratitude lowers the rates and the severity of instances of depression, of anxiety, and stress. It helps us feel more grateful. And when you're feeling more grateful, you can't simultaneously feel resentful. So it's like when you bring in these grateful emotions, you're actively blocking the negative emotions of like envy, for example, jealousy, I guess kind of same thing, envy, jealousy, resentment, anger, anxiety. So all of those things are actively being blocked when you're truly practicing gratitude. So obviously, who doesn't want to feel less anxious or less stressed? That's kind of a no-brainer. Another reason why gratitude is so important and so useful for us is that it helps us become more resilient to stress. Now, stressful situations are going to pop up in life, regardless of how much you practice gratitude. Stressful things are going to happen, unexpected things happen, your car might break down or whatever that might happen. No, practicing gratitude doesn't make bad things stop happening in life. In turn, however, it makes you appreciate the good about a situation. It makes you see the good side of a situation. Like, for example, and this is definitely a personal story, but something that has really helped me see like the power of gratitude in my own emotional well-being and mental well-being this year. As so many people, 2020, COVID, lost my job. I got furloughed from my job. And, I spent, maybe a week or two or maybe more. You have to ask my husband for a realistic answer. Kind of wallowing like, oh, I can't believe this. This is horrible. Oh, poor me. And while I'm not downgrading those emotions, it was horrible. Like, there were a lot of bad things that happened. And I definitely am not discrediting those emotions because that is accurate. That is how I was feeling. And I don't want to downplay that. But at the same time, when I took a step back, and I'm not saying those bad things didn't happen, but at the same time, look also at all of these good things that are happening. I lost my job, but I have a home. I have family members who can help us. I have friends who can help us emotionally. I have all of these other positive things happening at the same time that when I was truly appreciating, showing this deep appreciation for, showing my true gratitude for the pain, the bite of this bad situation seemed a little less. It seemed a little less horrible. It seemed a little less intense. And that can be the power of gratitude in terms of, you're not going to stop horrible things from happening, but you're more resilient to stressful situations. When your car breaks down on the side of the road, obviously you're going to say, oh my gosh, this sucks, my car broke down. But at the same time, I'm grateful that I'm safe. I'm grateful that no one got hurt. I'm grateful, etc. So those are the most important things that gratitude helps teach us. Another important thing that gratitude helps show us and teach us is the act of strengthening social bonds and familial bonds and social bonds in society. So when you're truly showing your gratitude to the people in your life, your friends, your family, your partner, your parents, your children. I don't have children, but for me, like my parents, my siblings, when you're truly showing gratitude with those people, your relationships become deeper, more connected, like on a higher level. And when you consistently are strengthening those bonds, you become more connected in your family, in your friend group, and even in society. When you, let's say, you always go to the same grocery store and you always see the same checkout clerk, and maybe you never really interact, you say thank you kind of haphazardly and walk away and take your groceries. Well, what if you truly express gratitude, like, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, doing your job. All of a sudden, you create a small little bond with someone else in your community. And through science, through all of these psychological experiments and testing and research, they show that when we have more of these bonds, even if they may seem insignificant, like how important could a bond be with the lady who works at the grocery store? Like, I don't really know her. I don't know her life. She knows nothing about me. But it truly shows the more of these bonds that we have psychologically, our brain feels more at ease in our environment, which helps lower anxiety, helps lower our stress levels. It helps us feel safer in our brain because when we have like a friendly bond, our brain detects less threat. It detects less potential for danger, which, in our like very primitive brain, we're always looking everywhere for like danger. We're looking for things that could potentially hurt us. And when we're expressing gratitude, we're telling our brain, no, this is a safe environment. Actually, in fact, it's more than safe. It's joyful, it's warm, it's pleasant, and it's even better than safe. Like, it's a step above safe. So you can relax. You can breathe. You can function, at our normal calm level. There's no need for fight or flight at this moment. So that's another really important factor of what gratitude can give us. Just from a very technical standpoint, what does gratitude do? What does practicing gratitude do to our body and our brain? Lots of stuff here. So when we give gratitude, when we express gratitude for others, and when we receive gratitude, when our friend, family, partner, guy on the street says, thanks so much for holding the door for me, and means it in a true, genuine way. So it kind of goes both ways here. Our brain actually releases dopamine and serotonin, those feel-good chemicals that we associate with all of the good stuff in life, from everything from chocolate to laughing to, getting a massage, whatever, getting a really good night's sleep. Those feel-good chemicals are being released both when you express gratitude and when you receive it. So literally, from a chemical standpoint, it makes you happier. Besides that, all of these studies have shown that expressing gratitude on a consistent basis makes you feel happier, which is the whole point of this, this talk today. It helps you sleep better. They found that when you maybe keep a journal of gratitude or meditate, which we'll talk about forms of showing gratitude in a moment, when you show gratefulness or gratitude right before going to bed, you literally sleep better. People sleep longer and have more deep and restful sleep. At the same time, you associate gratitude with lowered rates of anxiety and depression. People who practice gratitude tend to exercise more. So that's not necessarily a cause and effect, but you can see the correlation between showing gratitude, feeling positive, and having more energy, which you then use to exercise more. So higher energy levels is also associated with practicing gratitude, as well as lowered levels of cortisol, so lower stress levels. Sure, everyone could use a little less stress in their lives. Lower levels of anxiety, lower rates of depression. And in people who suffer depression, when they do have an episode, they're fewer and far between, and they also are less severe of an episode. So that could be a really important tool for people with depression in conjunction with other treatments that they may or may not already be using, whether you're taking medicines or, obviously therapy and all of that as well. In addition to those things, practicing gratitude can help reduce the occurrence of your depressive episodes. So all of these things are really important. Lowered blood pressure. Hello, we all want healthier hearts. Less pain. People with chronic pain, when they've done studies having them practice gratitude daily, their pain is actually reduced. Crazy. The things our brain and body is super connected. There's still so much to learn about that, I'm sure. And actually, potentially the most important, but maybe not, but it's linked to people living longer lives. The more gratitude you show, the longer you live a long, happy life. So pretty cool. Okay, so all of that considered, and we could get even more into like how gratitude shows up in our brains, that it's centered mostly in the prefrontal cortex. But I'll kind of let you look that up, and I could even comment on the replay of this video. Dr. Robert Emmons is kind of considered the foremost leader of our studies of gratitude. He had a lot of talks at UC Berkeley, so you can look him up, and I'll put a comment with his name because on the replay, because super interesting, all of his talks and studies about gratitude. That's where we're getting a lot of this information from. So how does this connect with yoga? What does practicing gratitude have to do with our practice of yoga? And then in turn, how does that affect our everyday lives? So what are we learning? What are we feeling and experiencing with yoga? Yoga is all about bringing us into this present moment. Yoga is about practicing turning inwards. Sorry, my family's kind of coming through the house. I hope you guys, it's not too loud. Yoga is about, as I'm talking about not getting distracted, and then I'm getting distracted. Kind of ironic. So yoga and meditation is all about coming to this present moment, really evaluating yourself, evaluating how you're feeling in this moment, evaluating sensations that are coming up in your body, evaluating your emotions, thoughts, of course, physical sensations as well when we're talking about our asana, our physical practice. So this practice of yoga, when we're consistent and stick with it, these things become easier and easier to understand, to experience, to interpret. When we're sitting and breathing at the beginning or end of our yoga class, and we keep feeling this irritation, like we want to twitch our arm. Well, the more we breathe into it, listen inward and focus and think, why am I wanting to wiggle and move my arm? Am I antsy to start my day? Do I just have an itch? Like you begin to interpret everything that's coming up. When the more and more you practice, the more you interpret really what's going on a deeper level. So in terms of practicing gratitude and how this is related, to practice gratitude, you really need to be tuned in to this present moment. Now, you could go every day and write down on a piece of paper, I'm grateful for my home, I'm grateful for my family, I'm grateful for my health, I'm grateful for, my food this morning. And those are all legitimate, super important, powerful things to be grateful for. But if you're not tuned in to how you're really deeply feeling in that moment, or specifically what's been happening in this present moment, it's going to become kind of redundant. Like, of course, I'm grateful for my home. But specifically, I'm so grateful that I have this warm, comfy bed that my husband and I chose together, built together. And, like when you put it on a deeper level, you're going to get a deeper connection and a deeper meaning for yourself, which in turn makes it even easier to continue that practice of gratitude. And practicing gratitude it's really like flexing this muscle of noticing really what's going on in the present moment. And that's why yoga is such an important tool in practicing gratitude, because the more we practice tuning in to what's going on inside, tuning into truly how we're feeling, what we're thinking, what we're experiencing in that moment, we can then turn and say, in this moment, I'm feeling very stressful I'm feeling, let's say at the end of your yoga class, you're lying in Shavasana, and I'm cueing you, I'm reminding you to, focus on your breath, not get distracted. And you think, oh my gosh, I'm getting totally distracted by my to-do list. I have these 2 meetings, and I have to go to the bank later, and then I have to cook dinner. And so you start running through your to-do list. Well, in that moment, in that present moment, our yoga practice teaches us noticing those thoughts, returning to the present moment, take a deep breath in and take a deep breath out. And we can practice gratitude in this moment by saying, how lucky am I to have a job that I have 2 meetings? I have success. I have so many opportunities for growth. I am going to the bank because I am experiencing abundance in my life. I'm going to deposit money to this bank. And, really taking a moment to appreciate these things specifically. And then I have to cook dinner. How grateful am I that I have food, I have a kitchen, I have the ability to stand and cook dinner for myself or my loved ones. Like, what a great gift I can give them. And then this amazing gift of spending this time, whether by myself in relaxation with this dinner or spending time with my loved ones, enjoying our meal together. So that's where it comes into play. That's where the yoga and gratitude really connect. Yoga helps us tune into the present moment, and then we look at those things and say, yes, I am so grateful for these things, for these reasons. And the more we practice that exercise, I'll even call it, the more we practice this exercise of gratitude, the easier it becomes. And that's the coolest part. So everyone, there's my little spiel on yoga and gratitude and how gratitude makes us happier people, makes us into better people because we are happier, and we can then in turn give so much more to the people we care about and to the world as a whole and to our communities. So there you go, guys. That's the importance of gratitude, the use of yoga to help us understand the science of gratitude and how we can use it to cultivate happier, more joyful, and harmonious lives. As always, I'd love to hear your comments. If you're watching this on the replay, please comment. Let me know what you thought, and let me know maybe a time when gratitude helped you see a different side of a situation, or when gratitude, or when, looking back, maybe seeing a situation where, oh yeah, I remember that was so difficult, that was so hard for XYZ reason, and now I can feel grateful because I learned this, or because I now understand like why I went through that. It taught me this lesson, or it gained me this new perspective. So, getting a little perspective on like maybe how gratitude has already affected our lives, or maybe how we can now look at things through a new lens and use gratitude to gain a new perspective. So I'd love to hear all of your personal comments and stories. And there you go, guys. That's our World of Yoga Wednesday. Again, I'm Ashley. I'm the Yogi Next Door. I'm so happy that you all are here and join me. And I would love to hear what you're grateful for. And I encourage you strongly to start making a little practice every day to tell yourself what you're grateful for, and then even maybe take the next step of sharing it with others. If you think every morning, oh, I'm so grateful for my partner because he's so sweet and thoughtful, and he always lays out my toothbrush for me every morning. Or, when we go to bed, he lays out my toothbrush, so then every morning it's there waiting for me. Well, instead of just thinking it, practice that gratitude, really deeply feeling it, and then tell that person, thank you so much. I really appreciate this thing that you're doing, or this, the way that you are, the way you make me feel, the way I feel when I'm around you, and express that gratitude to that person. So I hope y'all have a wonderful day. I'll stop rambling on and on. Share gratitude for yourself and for the others in your life, and I guarantee you will start to feel happier. And I'd love to hear all about it. So have a wonderful Wednesday, everyone. Happy World of Yoga Wednesday. I hope you learned something new about the world of yoga today, and the world of meditation and gratitude, gratefulness, and put it into practice. And I will see you all soon. Bye.